Hello everyone, I'm Regina Bale from Florida Gulf Coast University's The Water School. I'm the Environmental Education Coordinator for the Center for Environment and Society. We're glad that you're watching this video today, and we hope you learn a lot about how to use Survey123. In this series of videos, we will learn how to make a Survey123 in ArcGIS Online. This survey will work as a data collection tool for you and your students as they work on a specific science lesson. So as you're watching the video, you can follow along and build your own survey. Just make sure you're thinking about a specific science lesson you want to work with and collect data on outside. So Survey123 is a really great tool. You can easily build data collection with this tool, and it is incredibly simple to use. These videos will kind of walk you through making your first one. If you've ever made like a Google form or Microsoft form, it's a simple format like that. You're going to come up with what you want to collect from the user who uses your survey, and then you're going to be thinking about what type of data they're going to input. Is it numbers, dates, observations that they'd type out? So that's why for this video, it's very useful to have a lesson in mind for what survey you're going to make. These designs can be evergreen or for a specific event, and you can definitely edit all of these. So you'll want to think about that when you're making your design. If this is going to be a survey that is used over multiple iterations, multiple years, or if it's just for one specific event. You can share these surveys, work on them together, or you could keep them very private so only certain people, the owner or administrators, can work on them. And the data from these surveys immediately can be sent to feature layers that turn into maps, dashboards, story maps, so you could constantly be updating this data using your Survey123. When you log into ArcGIS Online, you're going to see a waffle icon in the upper right corner of your screen. It's indicated on this slide by the blue arrow next to my name and my profile picture. Click on the waffle icon to see all of the applications you have access to. Each application is represented with an icon that has a different color, a symbol, and has the name of the application written below the icon. Survey123, which is indicated by that blue arrow on the left side of your screen, is a green icon that looks like a spiral notebook with a check mark. Click on the Survey123 icon to launch the application. In Survey123, you will see tiles showing all of the surveys that you have made or that your organization has made. If you haven't made very many surveys or if your organization hasn't published many, the page will be mostly blank. You'll see across the top, which is screenshot right here, a green bar. On that green bar across the top, there is a button that says Plus New Survey. Click on the Plus New Survey button. A new screen appears, like the one you're seeing on my screen, that shows 3 different options for making a new survey. This new set of options will help you select the type of survey you want to make. For this training, we will make a blank survey that we can add items to. On the far right is the Survey123 Connect, which is useful for more customization options, but will require you to download Survey123 Connect to your computer, and you will need to have some knowledge of Microsoft Excel. The template survey that's found in the middle allows you to save time by selecting a template that fits the needs of what data you'll be collecting. So to begin with, we are going to click on the Get Started button for Blank Survey, which is shown here in the blue arrow. A new untitled survey will appear on your screen. It is opened to the Design section. You can see across the bold bar on the top. The title and description should be the first things you work on in order to keep your work organized and easy for you to drop in and out of and continue editing. If you do not add a title, it will just be called Untitled Survey, which can get confusing if you're working on multiple surveys. So some ideas for best practices when it comes to naming conventions. So as you're designing your surveys, whether you're going to use them in isolation, just you in your classroom, you want to have them organized for yourself, or if you're going to be sharing them with your school peers or district-wide. Surveys can be sorted by title, date that they're modified, their view count, the owner, and the relevance. So the relevance would be to whatever your search criteria was. The name of your survey is also the name of your feature layer for your map. We haven't got to map making yet because we're just building the survey to collect our data. But having a name that's easy to understand what kind of data it is will be incredibly helpful as you're making your maps. At FGCU, all of the surveys for our collaborative K-12 projects start with FGCU K-12 and then have a short title such as Manatee Park Field Experience, STEAM Learning in Southwest Florida, Schoolyard Tree Data Collection. Because FGCU uses ArcGIS for multiple projects with lots of people working on them, I wanted to make sure that the K-12 projects that I work on don't get mixed in or confused with the projects that are happening for coastal geomorphology research or ecological studies on campus and beyond. So you'll want to come up with something that works for your school or district. You may want to start with your school location, grade level, the topic or lab name. I put some example ideas here, but the most important thing that I would do is first ask your district's team what would be the best organizational structure to use for things that you want to share with others. So now let's name the survey. So in the design section, you have the untitled survey name. So the user of your survey will see the title and the description of the survey. Careful planning of the description will support your work and the student user when they collect data. So here's some example directions from other surveys we've used. So sample direction 1, after completing measurements and observations of a tree at your schoolyard, use the following survey to submit your tree data. Example survey 2. Welcome to Manatee Park in Lee County, Florida. During your visit, please use this survey to share the organisms, plants, and animals you find with other visitors, community members, and scientists. Example number 3. Share your favorite learning experiences with STEAM by completing this survey. Make sure to allow location services on your device. Notice how most of them gave you some form of advice on how to fill things out and why you were filling them out. All of our survey directions end with, by submitting this survey, you agree to anonymously give location, time, and other data input by you to be used for educational and informational purposes by Florida Gulf Coast University. You'll want to talk with your district and school teams to see if there's any type of direction that needs to be on all surveys. Lastly, the text boxes you type into on this platform do not spell check. So make sure that you type up your description maybe in another word processor or have someone look it over before you put it into the Survey123 platform. So we were able to get started on selecting a survey type in Survey123. Once we open the app and select the type of survey, we talked about the different ways to name your survey and then the type of directions that you should write in it. Look out for the rest of our series of videos where we'll learn more about how to make a Survey123 in ArcGIS Online and make sure that this survey works best as a data collection tool for you and your students. Thanks for watching.